So in the previous session, we were discussing the concept of abstract classes. Abstract class is a type of class that cannot be instantiated on its own. Instead, it serves as a blueprint, like we can use it as a template for other classes. So it is a special type of class which has at least one abstract method. It is a special type of class which has at least one abstract method. What is a abstract method? So abstract method is a method which has only definition part, but there is no implementation of that particular method, right? We cannot create any object of abstract classes. However, we can create object of subclasses of abstract class, subclasses or child classes of the abstract class. So abstract class are similar to a class, but we cannot create any object of this particular class. However, we can create any uh, child class of this particular abstract class and we can use its property. But for abstract classes, there is one primary condition. The primary condition is there must be at least one abstract method. Abstract method is a method which has only definition, but there is no implementation. All its implementation will be done in its child classes. Okay. Then we have one important properties of object-oriented programming, which is polymorphism. Polymorphism, very important property of object-oriented programming. Polymorphism means many forms. Many forms. Polymorphism means many forms. And if we have to define it more technically, we can say it is a characteristic. Polymorphism is a characteristics of being characteristics of being able to assign a different behavior or value in a child class child class child class to something that was declared in the parent class. For example, let's take an example. So I created a class for area. Okay, I created a class for calculating area. In this particular class, I created one abstract method. Okay, let's say I have created one abstract method, and I have given the name of this method as calculate area. Calculate area, right? This is a class I have created. Now I created two child classes of this particular class. So first one, let's say triangle, right? So in this triangle, when I created this child class, there is a mandatory condition. There is a mandatory condition to implement all the abstract methods. So I am going to simply implement this calculate area here, right? I will implement this calculate area method here. So what is the area of a triangle? Half base into height, right? 0.5 base into height. This is how it was implemented in this particular class. Then I went to another class where is this class is square. Let's say this is a square class. I also implemented this calculate area method here. Calculate area method. And here how it was implemented? Side into side, which is the area of a square. Side into side. So what is the meaning of polymorphism? Method is same, its declaration part is same, every definition and all these things of this particular class is same, but its behavior had changed when it was inherited to the child classes. So in the triangle it was implemented like half into base into height, and in the square it was implemented side into side. If I will take it to let's say rectangle, it will be implemented length into breadth, right? So method is same, but it is behaving differently into different classes. This is the property of object oriented programming, which is polymorphism, right? So in our ABAP programming, I will simply take a requirement to display both the abstract class and this polymorphism property. So a simple example, I will create a abstract class. Okay, create a abstract class and declare one abstract method into it. I will simply declare a abstract method into it. Let's say display sales order. I will declare a method display sales order. So then after I will create two child classes. So child one class will implement this method, and it will display the sales order header details, which is from VBAK table. It is going to simply display sales order header details from VBAK table. Then I will create a child2 class. It will also implement this method, and it will display the sales order item details from VBAP table. We already know that VBAP is the item table, right? So this is how we will see the property of this polymorphism. Same method created in the same class, but when it is getting inherited in header, it will do something else. But and it will be when it will be inherited into item, it will do something else. Okay, so let's see it practically. I will simply log in. Okay, I will do the simple login. So Z abstract class and polymorphism. Create abstract class and polymorphism. Type executable program, assign the package and transport request. Okay, so we need to create a header abstract class. Let's create the abstract class. What will be its name? Let's say I'm naming it parent. Okay, definition, I will name this class as abstract. I'm going to simply name this class as abstract. Okay, then in the public section I will declare one abstract method. So method display sales order abstract. This is how we declare a abstract method with no implementation. So I will do the end class, and I will not have any implementation of this particular parent. If you go and check this syntax, you will not get any error. But if you will not define this method as abstract, then you will simply get an error. It will ask for the implementation of this particular method, right? It is simply going to ask the implementation of this particular method. So class parent definition abstract. Okay, then I will have a child1. So class child1, this is going to inherit it. Definition inheriting from the parent class and class. So this is a abstract class. You are inheriting it from the parent to child. So here we will have to redefine it, right? So I will simply do the redefinition here. Methods display sales order redefinition. We will redefine it here, and then we will have the implementation class child to definition. Sorry, implementation child one implementation and class. In it we will implement our method one. So method display sales order and method. We will write our logic in it. So this is one class. Then we will have another class also. So class child to definition inheriting from parent and end class. In this particular class we will again declare another method public section methods display sales order redefinition, and I will again go for implementation of it class child to definition implementation and we will implement our method here. So end class method display sales order and end method. In it we will simply write the logical part. So this is the declaration. Two header and item classes, two child classes for one parent template abstract class that we have created. This is the parent class abstract class that we have created, right? And in it we have one abstract method, a method without any implementation part. We don't have any implementation of this particular class. What we are doing, we are inheriting in child 1 and child 2 classes, and one will display my header details, another will display my item details. Okay, so to display it we will have to declare the internal table, and for declaring the internal table we need the structure also. So I will go for the structure declaration. I will go to VBAK table and I will declare the structure for its field. So VBAK table. Okay. Select the fields for which you want to declare the value. So I will select few fields here. Okay. Don't need this. Let's say take this one. Okay, I'm selecting 5 fields here. ERGDT, ERNUM and VB type. 5 fields I'm simply selecting. So types begin of UI sales order, or let's say TY BVAK, it will be more meaningful. So first column VBELN, type its data element, paste it here. Second column ERDAT, type its data element, ERDAT. Third column ERJDT, type its data element, ERJDT. Fourth column ERNUM, type its data element, ERNUM. Fifth column VB type its data element. Okay, simple declaration of structure. End of ty underscore VBAK. So I have declared a structure for my sales order. You can take as many fields as you want, totally up to you. I am taking 5 fields from header. Then I will declare the structure for item. So types begin of item table. So VBAP table, its column names. Let's go to VBAP table, display VBLN, Posner, Matner, let's say Matcal. Okay, I'm selecting 4 fields from here. VBLN, type, its data element, VBVA, another field Posner, type, its data element, another field Matner, type, its data element, which is Matner, another field Matcal, type, its data element, Matcal. End of ty underscore VBAP. Right? So declaration of structure. Then we will create the internal table and work area for them. So data LTVBAK, type table of ty underscore VBAK, corresponding work area, VBAK, type ty VBAK. Then we will declare the item table also, type table of ty underscore VBAK, VBAP. Then work area declaration, type ty VBAP. Right? We have simply declared the internal table and corresponding work area. Then I will create a select option for it, in which we will take input. So LVVBLN, type its data element. This is the data element. Just copy it and paste it here. And I will declare one select option. So select option SVBLN for LVVBLN. Okay, let's activate it. I will go to text element and I will give a selection text for it. Range for employee ID, so that my user can understand this field label. Right? Then we will do the implementation part. So for header, we will write the logic for header data. Select VBELN, ERDAT, ERJDT, ERNUM, VBTYP from my header table, which is VBAK, into table LTVBAK, where VBLN in SVBLN. Right? This is my header query. Then I will go for item also. So select VBLN, Posner, Matner, and one more column is Matcal. So Matcal from VBAP table into table LT VBAP, where VBELN in S underscore VBELN. Right? Simple query for header also and for item also. So same method is same. It has been declared in the abstract class, same method. In the header, when you have implemented it, the logic is for header, and for the item you have, when child 2 you have implemented, its logic is for item table. Same method. This is the beauty of polymorphism. Many forms. A method can take place differently in two different methods. Okay. So let's create two radio buttons, and based on it I will declare this. I will simply display the data. So parameters PR1, I will name it header. So type C radio button group R1. I will declare one more radio button here, PR2, type C radio button group R2. Okay. Simple declaration of method. Oh, group should always be one. It cannot be different. Yeah. Now it's fine. Then I will go to text element, and in the selection text I will give the name for them. So sales order header and sales order item. Sales order item, right? Based on these two radio button, we will display our data. We will simply display based on these two, right? Then I will declare the start of selection event. Start of selection. Create the object of both the classes. So hello header is equal to new child one, right? Child one. I will declare this to one class. Then I will go for another one. Hello item is equal to new child 2 class, right? Header and item object. So now I will go for if condition. So if PR1 equals to true, if we are selecting PR1, then we will display the header data. Otherwise, else if PR2 equals to true, we will display the item data. And if we will display the item data, right? So I will call header hello header and its method name. What is the name of the method? The name of the method is display sales order. This method, we will call it if the first one is true. If the first one is true, we will call it, and we will simply display the header data. So loop at LTVBAK into LSVBAK and loop, and we will simply display the data. So write LSVBAK, VBELN, LSVBAK, PRDAT, LSVBAK, PRJDT, LSVBAK, PRNUM, LSVBAK, VBTYP. These 5 fields. And the same thing we will do for item. If the second radio button I'm selecting, I will display simply the item data. So hello item, call the method name display sales order, and we will display the item. So loop at LTVBAP here, right, into LSVBAP and loop, display the data. So write LSVBAP, VBELN, LSVBAP, Pojner, LSVBAP, Madner, LSVBAP, Matical. Right? Are you able to understand what is happening here? What we are doing? We have implemented a abstract class, right? This is a abstract class. The property of a abstract class is we should have at least one abstract method. We can have as many non-abstract method. We can display simply here. We can add here. Let's say I'm saying display data. We can add as many methods, no problem, but it must have one abstract method. One abstract method is mandatory. So I have simply declared one abstract method. Abstract methods implementation are always in the child classes. So whenever you inherit any child class from any abstract class, you always implement its, you will always redefine its method, and you are going to simply write the logic for it. So we have simply written the logic for both sales order header and sales order item. And then what we did, we created the object based on the radio button. I'm simply displaying it. So I'll put here debugger and I'm going to check. Let's debug it, execute. I will give here 1 to 3 entry. For sales order header, I will execute it. So desktop 3. Okay, so let's check it, F6. At this moment, we have the declaration. So let me check whether it's getting the object or not. Hello header. It has object of child, and it is also inheriting the feature of the parent class, right? It is also inheriting the feature of the parent class. That's good. Then we will call this method. I will press F5. I will go inside it. This logic will be triggered and we will get the data in LTVBAK, right? Yes, we are getting 3 records in LTVBAK. It's perfectly fine. Then it will be displayed, loop will work, and we are going to get our header data. Then we will go for item, sales order item. I will select this. I will go for execute button. Desktop 3. Okay. And I will check whether my object is declared or not. Hello item. Yes, it has been declared. Yes, we are getting the object of child2 class. It is inheriting the feature of parent class, and which itself is a inheriting the feature of object. That's fine. Then we will check whether it's working or not. We will go inside the method and we will check LTVBAP now. Yes, it is also getting records. We are getting the records. So I will execute it and I will get the data. See, we are getting the records, right? So it's working perfectly fine. This is the concept of your abstract classes and polymorphism.